There we go. All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Amanda Rollins. I'm the settlements analyst here at the auditor's office. I know I've met some of you in person, some I haven't. Most of you I've talked either over the phone or through the email. So it's nice to see everybody today. Today we will be going over our new Doclink solution. And it's going to make it easier. I know that everybody sends in their budgets and everything for the estimated certificate of resources and the appropriation certificate. And sometimes those kind of get lost in email or we miss them and we don't see them immediately. And then it's a lot of back and forth. So DocLink's going to allow you as the user to put those directly in there, and then we're not manually re-entering your numbers that you give us and fat fingering anything like that. So let me go ahead and share my screen so we can walk you through where you can go for all of this. And I'll do a light overview of the solution because there are training videos out there. I think I linked those in the meeting invite that I sent. So if anybody needs those later, we'll get those out there. We are currently working on a user guide that will be out there soon as well, maybe as early as today. Yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to either unmute yourself, raise your hand if you know how to do that, or you can type right in the chat. And then afterwards, we'll follow up with any of the questions and answers and stuff that we discuss as well. So we'll go ahead and get started here. So you guys should, yeah.
Amanda, can I just interject something real quick?
Sure.
Thanks. I just wanted to take a moment. I'm Beverly Hoskinson. I'm the Financial Systems Director with the County Auditor's Office. And the Budget Commission process is underneath my umbrella of job responsibilities that my team supports. I just wanted to take a moment to thank everybody for taking the time to attend today. And I will be sending out, or I'll actually drop a link into this invite of a survey. If you could take that survey, answer that as honestly as possible. We want to make sure that we're meeting the needs of our stakeholders. And if there's anything that you want to recommend that we include in our training materials or future releases that could be beneficial to you, please let us know and we'll take that under consideration.
Thanks, Beth. All right, so hopefully you're all familiar with the auditor site. If you're not, that is here. And in order to get to Doclink, it's really simple. You can just click here over the auditor's office and information, and you'll know that there is a new link here named Doclink, and that will take you to what I had linked in the meeting invite to the training videos that we created. We got somebody else in here. So these are a really good overview of how to use the entire Doclink system from start to finish. But like I said, I'd like to walk through it, just kind of a high level overview in case you haven't had time to go through those videos, and then answer any questions that we've got. Eventually, here soon, Bev, when are we starting it? Is it right after the training today that we're going to open it for everybody?
Ideally, we want to open the beginning of next week, March 17th. We do have, so before we open the solution, we are pre-populating in the production system all of your existing approved certificate of resources and certificate for appropriations. Any supporting documentation that was provided to our office will be also attached to those approved certificates. So the idea is once we release this, you will be good to go. You won't have to enter anything except for future or current amendments that need to go before the Budget Commission. But stay tuned. We still have some data entry to get done this week, but our goal is to announce that on Monday and then provide you with your username and passwords next week.
Okay, so this is where you will go once you get your username and password, and that'll link you right into the production site. For right now, for the training purposes, I'm just going to go to our test site that we have. So theoretically, you'll click that, it'll take you to production, and that'll take you to here. So once you get your username and password, you'll log in, and then you will notice that your username and everything is up here, and then the taxing authority that you are registered under. If you want to link back to the auditor's site, back to those videos and everything, there's the link down here at the bottom. And then up here in the top left is your navigation menu. And depending on your role, you won't see everything. Not everybody's going to see, tax authority management. I'm logged in as an administrator because that's what I am. But you'll see all these things on the left-hand side. Most of these, your dashboard's going to be pretty helpful as you'll see your action items here. Calendar is where you'll go to see when your submissions are due and time for the budget commission meetings. And it's got your budget commission meetings there as well. So in this case, your submissions are due by 12 p.m. on March 26th in order to be at the budget commission meeting on that packet for approval on March 31st. The calendar you guys cannot edit. It's just for us to put in the important submission dates and any meeting dates and those kinds of things that are relevant for you guys. The resources tab is going to be really helpful, especially if you have anybody new. We will keep these updated going forward, but you'll see here you can just click the drop down links. There's resources for new fiscal officers, outgoing, state trainings, budgetary law, handbooks, guidance documents, and then also links to the Ohio revised codes as well. We will also, like I said earlier, we'll have a user guide and everything out there for the Doclink solution as well. And some of these will take you to links and some are downloadable content. So I think the handbook is a downloadable. Yep. And then that'll take you, it'll just immediately download and then you can read over that. So that's the resources. We'll get into submissions, user management. Yep. Okay. So the bulk of Doclink right now is for certificate submissions. So when you guys submit your budgets and things and you're waiting for your certificate of resources and appropriations back and forth with us, this is the new process. So what you'll do is you'll just click on certificate submissions. You will select your taxing authority. So like I said, I'm logged in as an administrator right now, so I have access to everybody. You theoretically, if you only have one, you only have one drop down. I know some of you have 2 or 3 that you're responsible for. You'll see those as well. So we'll just click one here that I haven't used as a test. Let's see, at least that I don't think I've. Let's do Madison Township. You'll select the year that you're currently in. It gives you 3 options for the years. And then here you'll notice the type of submission. You'll either have your estimated resource certificate or your appropriation certificate. If it is the first certificate of the year, it's going to automatically do the resource certificate. I'm sorry, does somebody have a question? Okay. So that will automatically be selected because that one you have to have first. If you also want to insert your appropriations at the same time, you can toggle that on. And then you'll just click create. And that'll take you right on into your certificate. And up here, you'll notice that that is the initial resource certificate for the 2025 year. And it's also your initial appropriation certificate. And it's both your resource and appropriation. Like I said, you can do one or the other or both at the same time. But your first one is always going to have to be your resource certificate. And this is where you will go in and enter your funds. All your funds will be populated here on the left side. So for Madison Township, they only have the general fund. You will click that and that'll populate all your funds. And then you will just go in and enter whatever your budget amount is for each of those items. And then if you are exceeding any funds, it will show you that in the warning side as well. so that you can go back and make any corrections that are needed. Or it'll just tell you if you're exceeding it. And you'll do this for your entire certificate. So you'll notice that they are grouped by your regular funds. You've got your general fund, your special revenue fund, and then here are where all your special revenue funds are and each section that you have. So each section, well, I guess they don't have the debt of service fund, but if at any point you accidentally select two and you only need to have one, you can just click the little trash can there to delete it. And you just fill out the entire, I guess they don't, this wasn't a good one to pick for an example, but you'll fill that out in entirety. And then once you have everything filled out, you can add any of your supporting documentation. And this will just be any of your backup documentation that you'd typically send, any board meeting minutes or rates of resolution, anything like that. Now you can only update, you can only upload PDF files. That's the only thing we're accepting right now. If at some point you try to upload a PDF and it's too large, let us know. And then we might be able to expand it if it's not large enough. But you will select that, upload it. I don't know if I have one here off the top as a good sample. Probably not. You'll just upload it. It'll populate there. You'll close it. And you can also preview your resource or appropriation certificate. When you click preview, that's going to show you the printout that you typically see when we do return those to you. It'll have all your funds and everything that you populate there. And it's going to have this big unofficial watermark on it until we do accept it, review it, approve it, and all that, and then get the signatures on there that you typically get. So that is your estimated resources certificate. And then you can also, if you're doing the appropriations as well, you'll get your appropriations certificate there. Like I said, those will be unofficial until they go through the entire approval process. Now, if everything looks good, you've submitted everything, everything's uploaded and entered, you will click submit to reviewer. And then what that does is it lets us know that you've submitted it. We will then go in and review it. And if there's any issues or anything, we'll return it back to you for corrections. And we will send a message saying, hey, this one exceeds, or looks like you might be missing a fund or something like that. You'll make the corrections and we'll get it again, we'll approve it. And then if it is your resource certificate, it'll go on into the Budget Commission packet for approval for that meeting at the end of the month. And then if it's the appropriations side, we'll just get that signed and then back to you. And at any point you can click recent submissions and you will see whatever status the packet or your certificate is in. For example, this one here was already went through the entire process and it was approved by the Budget Commission. This one wasn't finished, it's in the draft status. This one was returned to submitter because there was something like an error found with it. And then this one was approved. And at any point you can also click view just to see what was submitted. And if it, like I said, if it's in draft, you can edit it, submit it. You can always view the documents that were sent in with it. Like this one was a testing one, but that was it was just a guide PDF that we use as testing just to make sure that the uploads were working. But yeah, so that's a super high level overview. Like I said, the videos do go into some more detail, but I also want to leave enough time if anybody has any questions, concerns, anything like that to discuss today. And of course, if you have any questions that you think of afterwards, you can reach out to us and we'll answer those as well. So does anybody have any questions?
Amanda, did you cover user management? I believe everybody on this call is either a clerk or a treasurer, or they have authority to set up users within their taxing authority. So could you review that real quick?
Yep. So like what Bev said, if you guys are administrators or will be administrators in the system, you will have access to this user management selection. And this is where you will add or edit any users for your taxing authority. So to add a user, you will just click the add user button and you will select whatever taxing authority you're in. I think we'll just pick a random one here. We'll go to Pleasant Township and you can select the roles. Now the roles here, you will most likely just select the tax authority user or read only. So tax authority user can also submit certificates, but I don't think that they can set up users in the system.
No.
Right.
And I'll just add a little to that. So the reason that we added a tax authority user is because a lot of you may have support staff that you may want to help through this process. We've seen, in our current structure, I'll use the city of Lancaster as an example. The auditor may assign her deputy auditor the role and responsibility to assist with budget commission entry. So she could set up Anitra as a tax authority user. In a future release, and this is where we would probably need your feedback, do you want your users to have the ability to submit to the auditor's office for review? Or would you rather review that internally and you submit? If that's the case, I would set up 2 tax authority administrators in a future state so we can meet the needs of both. But we can take your feedback and then try to design our next release around that. Any preferences from those on the call? And you can always drop a comment in the chat, or you can include it on the survey that we send out after this demo call. There's a question in the chat from John Walsh. What day do we start using and assuming all documents for the current year is loaded? Yes, John, we're going to have all of the current certificates, regardless of which amendment you may be on, loaded into Doclink when we release this. Our goal is to have this open to all users on Monday, the 17th. However, we still have some data entry to do, and we want to make sure the system is fully loaded. So it may be later in the week, but we will be sending out an email with your username and password and notify you when you can get in and start using this. So your first submission would be for the March monthly budget commission meeting. And we're hoping to get this up in time so everybody has the chance to use it. Any other questions around that? Okay, thank you.
It looks like Trish said that might want others to be set up different as well. So you can certainly choose the different roles, and the user guide will go into more details on what each user role can do. For username, you can really do whatever you want. I like to just keep it simple. So for me, I would just do the first letter of my name and then the last name. And that's kind of what we're seeing makes the most sense for everybody. If you've got duplicate similar names or whatever, you can add a 1 or anything at the end of it. Then you're going to do their whole name, whatever position they are. I'm going to do test. Password, you are initially, because you are setting up the user initially, you're setting their password. So we're just, I'm advising something very simple to begin with. And then you'll just fill out the rest of the form. use their email address that they would like to have the notification sent to. So like if they are submitting a certificate, and they need to edit it, like if it needs edits or corrections, anything needed, you'll want to use that. That might not always be a personal email. Primary phone number, just where we can contact them. Secondary phone number is not required. Primary contact method, there is phone and email as an option. I am recommending email because that is where the notifications will be sent if they are submitting anything, because the system's not going to call and like leave a voice message or anything like that. But once you do fill that out, you'll save it and then just go ahead and follow up with either an email or a phone call to that user, letting them know that you have set them up. Because I don't believe that right now we have a system notification letting them know that they, here's their username and password. And then once you let them know that they are in the system, then when they log in, we just like for them to obviously change their password so that it's not the same password for everybody, or, not everybody can just use that. And then they'll be ready to go and submit certificates or whatever the role that you've given them has allowed them to do. Any other questions yet?
If you have any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself. Or again, you can put it in the chat. We can address it with the survey. We will want to make sure that, we hear your voice, your input on this. We know this is new, and anything new, any change sometimes can be difficult, and we want to be very respectful of that. Our office will also be preparing an FAQ on this solution after both. We're holding another meeting this evening at 6:00. So once we get all of our questions presented to us, probably by the end of this week, we'll send out the FAQ, or we'll include it within the Doclink solution. I can share with you that we are currently working on some enhancements for a future release, things that we've not covered yet today, but I will share with you some of the features that we're going to be adding. Amanda, can you pull up the menu bar? So here within your main menu, we're going to be adding another link that says My Documents. And within My Documents, some of the things that you're going to be seeing in the future are our settlement documents that we normally send by email. You'll get a notification that a document was uploaded, and we're going to control that with the calendar. So on the calendar, you will be, in the future, you'll be receiving reminders or notifications when we put something on the calendar, when something has been uploaded or posted inside of My Documents that's relevant for you. Those will also include our local government monthly distributions. We're going to have resolution templates there that are fillable PDFs. So if you need to leverage those resolution templates, they'll be right inside a Doclink. You can download it, fill it in, save it, and then upload it again when you submit your budget commission packet. We will also be adding comments within the Doclink solution if we were to reject a certificate after our review. Today, we don't have that functionality. And as we were going through testing, we found it was very needed to be able to put a comment right on the certificate within the solution to say why we were rejecting it. So in the interim, we'll still email you and let you know that that certificate, you'll get an email notification from Doclink saying your certificate was rejected with the certificate number and the date. but we will also follow up with a separate email giving the reasons why and requesting any additional information we may need. So those two things are going to be in a future release. They're enhancements that our software vendor is currently working on today. So we're hoping within the next few weeks, those will be available as we move this forward. Any other questions? Anything that we did not cover? If you want to see something reviewed again? I know we kind of ran through that a little quick, but we want to take the time to address anything that you may have a concern about.
Just a quick question. So if we have some issues trying to log in, username, whatever, Amanda, are you the one we need to speak with?
Yep. You can call me, or you can email that local government support email box.
Okay.
Whatever works.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Yep.
We'll keep the recording posted. Probably for this first year, we're just going to leave it up. We know that staff changes can occur, and we want to make sure that we have this available. If there's no other questions, we want to be very respectful of your time. You're more than welcome to rejoin at 6 o'clock if there's something that you missed, or you want to see what others may be asking in the second group. But you are very welcome to join us again at 6 tonight. All right, well, thank you all. I'll be sending out a survey very shortly. And please, provide your input. It's really important for us. This is we're hoping that this tool provides you with some transparency, and so you understand where your submissions are through the process, and hopefully make it a little easier for you when your auditors come in. You can set them up as a user and give them read-only access. So if they need your documents that you've submitted, they'll have a copy of that. All right. Thank you all, and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.